Hello, everybody. Dr. Sam here. Thanks for joining me tonight with this video that we're going to be just talking about one of the phases if you're doing some self publishing. So, the goal is to share with you a few things every week and in hope of drawing an entire picture for you so you can actually do some self publishing. I say it like that because Uh, self-publishing is gigantic. It's big. There's so many things, so many facets in it, and you can never do the entire thing all by yourself. And of course, you're gonna need help. But you can definitely learn what every phase has and what's required in every phase. If you want to do it for free and you want to just invest some time and effort, then you can do that. And but if you're willing to spend some money, if you have the means, then it's definitely worth it to spend some money and get some professionals to do the job for you. But we start from the beginning. We're gonna go to the very first phase, and we'll take it from there. Again, let me present myself. As an introduction, I'm Dr. Sam El Borghi, and I'm a doctor in cybersecurity and information insurance. And I do some publishing in academia, and I teach in universities and things like that. But what I love the most is writing, science fiction specifically. And I got into self publishing. I love doing it. I have so far only two books out, but not the best, mainly because the time and all that. You know how it is. I have full time job with the government, so just using it time by time, minute by minute. But I did learn a lot about self publishing, and that's the reason why I wanted to put this here. Mainly because I needed a place where I can actually find how I did things. And the best way to do it is to just record things like I'm doing right now. I'm recording it, and I'm hoping if I needed something, I'll just go back to the title of the video so I can relearn what I may have forgotten. Let's go from the beginning, okay? And this is my website. Of course, people may tell you you need a website for your author name, and not always, okay? But it's a good place to have something, mainly for people who wants to reach out to you or know a little bit more about you. Of course, you do have a page, an author page in Amazon, and I do have that. And I've got actually I have two pages because I have two names. A pen name. This is a pen name you see here, Sam Borgi, and my real name. That's the one I use for my academia to publish my academic books. Now, what's in this website? Simple things. It is actually done through Google, and of course, did get the domain from Google, yearly domain, and then the hosting and everything with Google. Of course, you build the website via Google, and very simple. Just click and move things around and things like that. What's in the website? Simple things like books, blogs, podcasts, contact us, downloads, private term, views, and policies. Simple things, of course. But there is always, like any other website, of course, I had to dig around to other websites for other authors to learn. There is always an introduction of the latest book in the very first page, subscription to the email list, and Patreon, and then, of course, the privacy or term of use policy. Uh, you may see that these colors like this brown here need to change. These are limited mainly because the if you do it with Google, it's not done by via WordPress or anything like that. Something like I would have to pay for. It's done via Google, free. Okay, and the choice of colors is limited. That's why I see this brown here. Kind of ugly, of course, but sometimes either you're gonna put a picture or you put a color that whatever they allow you to, whatever color they give you, they allow you. Anyway, that's the website, but that's not really why I'm actually showing this. I'm showing it because I wanted you, if you're watching this video, to go get this download right here. Want you, these are a few free things that I put here for you, or for me, of course, for that matter, as a reminder. This is the kind of stuff, the kind of outline, the type of outlines I use. I'm gonna go into details about that, but what I want you to look at is this spreadsheet right here, from pre-marketing to marketing, the 7 phases of self-publishing mindsets. Uh, of course, you can see that there is a lot of topics. There is pre-marketing, getting ready, uh, what you need, graphic design, book editing, book formatting, and marketing. And you see, it started from pre-marketing to marketing, almost like if it is the most important thing, even if the writing the book is the most important. If you want it to be read by many people, you have to consider the marketing aspects. Now, what I will be talking in this very video, because I'm titling it the pre-marketing. So for this video, we'll be basically talking about the pre-marketing, and these are the 5 things that we're going to be talking about. Okay. Uh, Without further ado, let's get to it. So decide on the author name. Uh, this is something extremely important because you want to actually find either using your own author name, but if it is hard to pronounce or hard to remember, you want to choose something easier, maybe a pen name. But when you have a choice to do that, you really need to choose the name, choose a name that's not used already, choose a name that is not too famous, meaning it's not you, it's you may not end up with legal liabilities or something like that. Because, for example, if you want to choose Stephen King and you choose Stephen King or S. King, then you may be in trouble there because you're basically trying to piggyback on the uh, famous name of Stephen King, and you need to be careful. So you have to choose a name that is basically means that you have some ethics and you are not copying or using the fame of any other person. That's one. Two, decide on the website name. So if you decided on your author name, generally people actually use the author name as the website name. But what if you have more than one name? What if you have a pen name? Then you have a challenge. This website here, as you see, it's called samborgi.com, but I do have another one. It's called digitalcontentcreatives.com. Why I chose to have something like that? Mainly because I wanted to have a generic website where I can put, if if I have to some time, or maybe in the future, more than just one name or one pen name, and that's the main reason why. So, digital content creatives, found out it was available, so I purchased the domain, and I'm creating the website right now via Google, almost the same thing. But of course, once you do something like this, you can always migrate. If I get, for example, a membership through Bluehost, for example, I will just migrate my website from uh, Google to Bluehost and then start using some WordPress and uh, complicating the website in a way. So that's the website part. Start your social networking. This is pre-marketing. If you don't have a base, you don't have some number of friends who can actually help you launch the book, you're going to be in the dark, because if you put your book out there without any visibility or any people like touching it or clicking on it, then it's almost like it's not there. That's how the algorithm works, and it's been like that since it was created, and it's even just getting more pickier about who uh, or what book it will put in front of the readers. So if your book is worth it, it will put it in front of readers. If not, it will just put it in the page 500, I would say. Now, that's important to have some social networking presence. Connect with like minded people via Facebook groups, podcasts, YouTube channels, SPF, Joanna Penn, David Gaughran. These are my best people here, okay? SPF, that's Mark Dawson, and Joanna Penn and David Gauguin. Decide if self publishing is for you. Do the research. So, why am I saying this? Because self publishing involves a lot of DIY, do it yourself kind of things like graphics, the editing, the formatting, getting your book cover, doing some networking, social networking, making your own website if you have to get there. So there's a lot of things that you'll have to do by yourself. And that's why the material like the one I'm presenting right here is important because you may go and dig around on YouTube and things like that. You'll find a lot of people telling you all kind of stuff. But the most important things are the most obvious ones, which are first, learn how to write. Second, write the book. That is the most important thing. And third, do some management. Like, let me tell you a small, simple thing. Uh, so many people they talk about writing books, but because they take too long, before you know it, the file that they started writing is sitting in a computer that does not even work anymore, or it's sitting in the cloud they don't have access to anymore. So it would make sense, right? If some file management is in order. So those are important things, like the simple ones and the most obvious ones. Have a file management system. For example, if create like a Google account, for example, and that gives you 15 gigs, put all the stuff you write there, right? This way you can access it from anywhere. And that's important because if you have a laptop like I do, I have like 6, 7 here, and I know for sure there is some books I started here and I don't have access to. Why? Because my kid dropped the laptop and the screen is cracked. And of course, don't have time to go and fix the screen. I'd rather buy another one. So, of course, I still have maybe 400 gigs of stuff in this one or that one over there. So they work, the laptop work. If I connect it to a bigger screen, I can still check my stuff. But the point is, have a file management system. So, as I said, the most important things are the most obvious ones. Write a book, save it, have access to it. Simple. And we will leave it at that, okay? I will talk next about getting ready, what you will need, and the kind of stuff that actually makes sense for everybody. Things that we keep forgetting and ignoring that really do make a huge difference in coming up with a good book or a good product. And you're going to hear this word a lot from me, product, because a book is a product. The mindset that you see here, we're talking about mindsets. The mindset of self publishing is mainly to get the writer into this idea that he is not only the writer or the author, he's also the seller. He's also the guy who presents the product and package it in a way to be appealing to the reader. This way he can make money. So that idea is the very first thing that people need to understand. Remember, what you're actually creating is a book, but once you finish a book, that becomes a product. So it would be better for you to think of it as a product before you even start it. And those are the successful people. They actually plan plan and they plan to have a book that answers certain criterias. They even plan what the book will do. They even think of what they will need to prepare for the book to be successful. And they even put some campaigns in parallel with actually them writing the book. By the time the book is about to be launched, there is some campaigns that are already full on, and people are actually expecting the book and they just go and start buying. Now, thank you again for listening. I appreciate it. Have a great day, and let's see you on the next one.